right, welcome back. We're looking at the Sahel crisis, using us to spotlight humanity, and our guest is the founder of the Meridina Foundation, a humanitarian organization focused on maternal child health, nutrition, and support for displaced communities across Africa. And of course, with her initiative, she's been able to provide meals for women, children affected by conflict around the world.
You're welcome, Lady Meridina, if you can hear me.
Hello, thank you so much. Really great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank God you're here again. We're so glad to see you. Good morning. So a quick question. For viewers who may not fully understand the Sahel crisis, how would you describe what is happening in the region right now?
Yeah, in the region, it's characterized by a confluence of issues. Food insecurity is a key part of it, but also terrorism. The terrorism as well is in different parts, is sometimes herdsmen fighting with fishermen for resources, water and land resources. Sometimes it's tribal clashes and tribal wars. But there's a lot of terrorism, a lot of armed conflict, activities of non-state armed groups, together with other infrastructural problems like lack of educational facilities and lack of proper health care. And so this has led to a protracted conflict that has now lasted over 15 to 20 years, and it's getting worse. I just returned from N'Djamena, Chad, where I was reporting on the war in Sudan, in N'Djamena, and how it's affecting N'Djamena and Chad as a country. But also there's the northeast of Nigeria where we operate. We're also in the far north of Cameroon and operating also Chad and Sudan. That entire region is all part of the Sahel region, and it's undergoing a lot of issues at the moment.
Right, so why is this a crisis that the world should pay attention to? Why it's a crisis that the world needs to turn its attention to, you know?
Yeah, it's the largest issue right now in terms of the number of displaced persons. There are more displaced people and refugees in the Sahel region than anywhere else in the world. And I know that in the news, it's not always fair in terms of what situations get more news attention, but we know that Africa doesn't always get the attention that it needs when there's conflict or when there's strife. So a lot needs to be done for even fairness in the media, so that people are reporting these issues, bringing it to the forefront, and getting them the help that they need. So my foundation, we are preventing malnutrition in women and children specifically across conflict regions in sub-Saharan Africa. So that includes Nigeria, Cameroon, Chad, Sudan, but also Mali, Burkina Faso, Central African Republic, the DRC, and other parts of the Sahel as well. This entire region is kind of the middle belt of Africa, and it's going through a lot of issues at the moment.
Said, and you're doing a really good job. Now, we understand that in this part of the world, like this continent, we have different expressions of art. We could use, storytelling, different expressions that we have as a tool to tell stories, especially when it comes to humanitarian advocacy. Why did you choose photography to express the art for storytelling in humanitarian advocacy?
So our exhibition, the Sahel Exhibition, is something that is so dear to my heart. Over the past 10, 15 years, we've been gathering images on field, initially just as reporting for evidence, to show the work that we're doing to donors, to partners, and also to the government, and just for recording purposes. However, I looked at the pictures and thought, I really want the world to see this, because it just shows the stark realities of what's going on in the Sahel.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear us. Okay, we're really having a great time with that conversation. I don't know if she can still connect back to us, but we're going to ask about why did she use the House of Commons as a setting for this exhibition. I just love the fact that using art as a tool to tell stories is a very important part of the conversation.
Art is beautiful, and the fact that when you use illustrations and different modes of storytelling, it sticks than when you just use words. I feel like it is more interesting and more catchy to get people's attention. Just before she went off there, she made mention that she wants to be able to let people know, to see the reality of those people. But then I was about to ask just a little flip question, that now that we have AI, Isn't that something that we can just generate, pictures
I know,
without the
see,
contrast?
that's the thing. There's some things that you cannot touch. Things like art. Those are things that people taking time, effort, energy to put their work into. Yes, maybe AI can just refine. Maybe just maybe this is how it looks with AI. But then there's some paintings, some artworks that not necessarily don't need a touch of AI, except you say, okay, this is purely AI. But that's the beauty of art and images. So I believe I will still be able to connect with her. If not, I'll probably have at a later time. But like we said, the conversation is very important to have, and I love the fact that she's come on board to really support less privilege and use her platform to speak against things that are happening across the Sahel region and across the world. So it's very important that we have these very beautiful conversations.
And to think, well, when I look at Nigeria right now, I feel so sad, and it is so shameful to think that we are the giant of Africa and we are not maximizing and using our potential is so much, but we are not using even half of it, a quarter of it, in the sense that now we have people outside.
Sorry to cut you. I think she's back with us.
Oh, okay.
Lady Dina, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right.
Same. The Sahel Exhibition to Parliament really puts it on the level that it needs to be in terms of urgency, attention, and global advocacy. At the exhibition, we had members of Parliament in attendance, we had United Nations representatives in attendance, donors, various corporate partners, and other even Nigerians and Africans in the diaspora. And it was great for everyone to come there as a convening in one of the most powerful places in the world to really put our cause and story across, and it was phenomenal.
So what stories behind some of these images have really resonated with you personally?
One of my favorite pictures is a picture of a little boy, just the reality of it. He was sitting down on the floor in the sand, and he had a bowl of food, I think it was beans, and he was eating beans with his hands. And the gallerist actually called that image euphoria, because even though there's a lot of poverty, a lot of food insecurity and difficulty, it also shows the resilience and the strength of the children in that region. And also the little girl in the blue dress. There's so many pictures that I love. There's also the boy holding bamboo. That image is called Bamboo, a boy holding bamboo, just doing normal everyday chores, but showing the resilience. There's a lot of suffering, there's a lot of difficulty, but they keep pushing. And the people there, of course, they're a huge inspiration to me and to everyone. They're the real heroes. I wanted to tell their story with truth and with integrity. And I think that's what we did and we achieved at the Sahel Exhibition.
Okay, that's well said. Thank you so much for that. Now, this is pretty interesting because it got me to question, out of all the settings for exhibition, you chose the House of Commons. Why did you choose that?